performance, well, actually the two biggest performances, that was Lizzo. She was, doing all the girl stuff, boss, it was really, really cool. And Labyrinth. I mean, and we talked about this before. I can see your mouth twitching. Like Poland for my cousin, because she was like, oh my god, I have to drink this Monster Energy drink. Yeah, because we only had like Red Bull. Something called Nasza Klasa, and that was like a portal. It was kind of like Facebook, but you could only find someone if you searched up. At the beginning, yeah. Actually, the Polish audience will know what I'm talking about, but we had, I think it was Ania Rubik, that she would be like speaking.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us at EKM's live journey. I'm really happy that you decided to tune in today. Today we have a really great we have a great guest in our mix, and I really wanted her to come here so that we can speak together. We can talk about a lot of things we're going to be talking about today. So but first, I really need to thank you for tuning in, and also to let you know that I really appreciate the support and the likes, the share, and everything you guys have been doing in the past. I just hope one way or the other I'm actually impacting in your life. So just keep subscribing, keep sharing, liking, and following. So I'll just introduce her to you. This one, I met her, I'll say I met her in a very nice situation. Like she reached out, and it was really nice for me. And she's been a great one in terms of marketing. She's an expert. Life in general, she's just been a good one. I think a lot of inspirational content she put on TikTok, on Instagram. So I'll just welcome her to the show. Welcome so much for joining us on the show. Yeah.
Thank you for such a warm introduction.
I would say I was really looking up to this one. For a long time I was looking up to this one, and I'm really glad that you're here. Yeah.
Thanks so much. So hi guys, my name is Dominika Kamińska. It's a pleasure to be here, and today we are going to be talking about opener, Poland, England, marketing, and everything in between.
Yeah. Let's head on with the opener first, because I know this is it just concluded, and I initially went, but I just wanted how did it go for you? How was opener for you though?
It was absolutely fantastic. It was so great. If anybody ever has the chance to go to opener festival, I really highly recommend it. The organization was fantastic, but the artists are what made the festival what it is.
Which artist among all the artists, which one was your best performance? Like,
honestly, it was so hard to choose. Like every single day was absolutely fabulous, but I would say like the biggest performance, actually the two biggest performances, that was Lizzo. Mm-hmm. She was doing all the girl stuff, boss. It was really cool. And Labyrinth. I mean, and we talked about this before. I can see your mouth twitching.
You told me that when we were discussing in the car, you told me that he actually came. I was like, how did I miss Labyrinth? Labyrinth is. There's this thing about Labyrinth. Anytime I tune into his song, and especially the part of this movie, Euphoria, Euphoria, and most of the songs, they were actually Labyrinths, and I was like, how? So when you told me about him that he came, I was like, oh my god, how did I miss Labyrinth? But I hope he was able to deliver, because I know that guy is a show performer. So
he really was. Yeah, the visuals, the music, everything. But like I told you before, I was mesmerized. Like seriously, I was standing there, slightly swaying to the music, but I was like staring straight, and it was like he was hypnotizing us with his performance and the music. It was
that is Labyrinth.
I haven't seen a performance like that in a really long time, honestly. So if I ever get the chance to see him again, like I would pay double for what I paid for opener, honestly.
I mean, in terms of like performance, I think the next person, like, how would I say that really gets me? Let's say in Africa is Burna Boy. And then when you're going to, like, say, this other guy that every girl in Poland is actually dying for, I know you definitely know who I'm talking about. Harry Styles, like, I know.
I mean,
I know, like, I saw a clip the other day, and he came into the show, and there was a lady standing by his side there, and she just fainted. I was like, how did you? But yeah, I mean, I get this a lot. A lot of people actually like Harry a lot, and yeah, it's quite a good one. I really wish I had attended. I was actually hell-bent on making money from the opener that I did not actually attend, dropping people, picking people from one place to another. But yeah, it was fun. The main thing is that we're all happy and all that. Yeah. So how is it like for you, like in terms of Poland? Like, I really was looking forward to. You're the first Polish person on the show, and I really appreciate that. I wanted to really dive into the topic of Poland, growing up in Poland, your culture, how you see it, and also I understand that you were living in the UK for a while.
Yeah.
What were the major similarities and also the differences? Yeah.
Well, it was a different time back then as well, because this was I was 8 when I moved to England.
Okay.
So yeah, quite a long time ago. 2004. So back then it was like a huge difference. Poland. Well, obviously we were a communist country, so coming out of that was very, very hard then. So when we moved with my parents, it was. I don't know. It's hard to compare it to anything, because it was like going to a completely different world.
Yeah.
It was like everything that you ever saw in like adverts or movies, and it was like science fiction for us. So moving there, I was walking to the shop and seeing all these cool drinks and the sweets and everything, and I was like, oh my god, what is this? I mean, back then I remember I would get the Monster energy drink and like get it to Poland for my cousin, because she was like, oh my god, I have to drink this Monster energy drink. Yeah, because we only had like Red Bull. That was like that was amazing. And of course in England, we knew all about the celebrity trends and like what's going on. Yeah. And in Poland, we would know all of that like 2 weeks later. So when I would come in the summer, I would know all the gossip, and I would tell like all my friends, and later it was in the magazines. And so that was like, when I think back on it, that was a crazy experience.
I mean, then there was no social media and everything that you could just pop up.
Yeah, I mean, we had in Poland, we have something called Nasza Klasa, and that was like a portal. It was kind of like Facebook, but you could only find someone if you searched up their school. Oh. Yeah, so actually our parents would search their friends from, I don't know, ages ago. Yeah. And we would find each other through there. And then a couple of years later, Facebook got more famous, and I would keep in touch with my friends like that. But of course, before Facebook and Nasza Klasa, I would send letters. And I mean, can you imagine sending letters these days?
I mean, the memory I had about letters when I was doing it to ask girls out, I'll just slip the little letter into the book and give the next person to go and give a girl in another class.
Oh, that's
and
cute.
She'll just because it's not funny, because the person that is sent, the middleman, ends up reading the letter most times, and he has a lot of people's secrets here and there, and he'll be like, if you try me, I'm going to rat you out. If you try me, I'm going to tell this person you're asking this person out through the letter and everything. But so what was the differences? Like, when you went did you see any major cultural shock for you when you moved to England?
It was a huge culture shock. Like, in Poland, obviously back then we only had people from Poland in Poland. We didn't have anybody from other countries, at least not many people, because of course there were people here and there. But definitely the different nationalities. That was a shock. But I was a kid, so for me it was kind of like I like everyone. Everyone's equal. It was okay. For my parents, it was definitely a bigger shock, but they got used to it pretty quickly as well.
Your parents, are they as well? Like, do they speak really good English like you do?
No, not at all. My mom, she knew how to say hello and goodbye. And then my dad, my dad got the job there as an accountant, so he knew more. But as time went by, it got better. Actually, my sister was the one that knew English the best, because she was 1 year old when we moved.
Oh.
So I remember when she was like 5 years old, and my mom would come to me and be like, "Oh my God, can you translate? Because I don't understand." Yeah. I
mean, when I moved to Poland, I saw a lot of things that I actually it was a major shock for me. Like the one that actually got me that made me actually brought to the realization that this is actually totally different. When I was about crossing the road, so in Nigeria, if you you want to cross from this side of the road to the other side of the road, you look, and then you run. You know? But here, I came and I saw the green lights, the yellow light, the red lights, and I was like, okay. Most of the time, sometimes I will run, and a lot of people are still walking, and they're looking at me, and I started feeling like, why am I running? Sometimes I'll run, I'll get to the middle of the track, and people are looking at me, and I'm like, I'll just stop, and I start walking. And a lot of things as well, a lot of things. But how did you have this nice impeccable English? Like, your English is really nice. So how were you able to come in here, and then you started speaking your friends and everything? Did you seem different to them?
At the beginning, yeah. Actually, the Polish audience will know what I'm talking about. But we had, I think it was Ania Rubik, that she would be like speaking Polish, and it would be like half Polish, half English. Was it Ania Rubik? Yeah, I think so. And then I was doing the same thing basically. So I was like coming in, speaking a couple of sentences in Polish, and I would be like, oh, what was that word, you know? And then I would have to say it in English, and then to remember what it was in Polish.
Yeah.
But obviously, I was living there for like 6 years, so for me it was a bit hard to get adjusted to the languages.
Yeah.
But you know, in Poland there's like a joke that, oh my god, you go for like 2 months to England and you forget Polish, you know.
What did you forget though?
I mean, I still have problems to this day, because I work with like English language every single day.
Okay.
So sometimes when I go out, I would be like, oh, what's this word again? And I would have to say it in English for me to remember what it is in Polish. So sometimes it sounds a little ridiculous, like, oh my god, you know, how cool am I? I know only English words, you know.
Well, your peers, how did they see you though? Like your friends, how did they see you? Like when you speak, and did they like feel shy speaking with you as well?
In English, you mean?
Yeah, English, yeah.
Yeah, of course, yeah, and my students, because I used to teach English.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
so definitely they would feel a bit awkward because I would have this like British accent.
Yeah.
And then it sometimes gets more British, sometimes it gets more American. So yeah, when I had my students, I would speak like half and half.
Yeah.
And that's because they wouldn't understand the British accent. So that was a little problematic. So now it's like, I'm not really sure what my accent is, but...
I think we're jumping. Like I myself, if you notice, I have the Nigerian accent.
Yeah.
Most times you find it hard understanding what I'm saying. But then I came here and then, you know, I started working with the American company. So most of the time I was speaking with the, you know, Americans and they'd be like, hey man, fuck you, my money and stuff like that. And I was like... No, Americans are, I will not say they are quite hostile, but I'll say they're really very real. They're straight to the point. Say that English as well. And then here in Poland, sometimes you're trying to like explain something in English. I see some people, they now try to tune their English to the Polish English. Do you know the Polish English?
Of course I know the Polish English. Yeah, it's a strange accent, and I have to say sometimes when I'm lazy, I completely go into the Polish English accent. I'll be like, I'll be straight on talking like, I can't do it now. But yeah, normally, I would be like, whatever, like.
So, but aside from the language, is there any other thing that you found like a shock in the UK? Like it's totally different, like, you know, like let's say the food or something like that.
Oh,
How
the
were you
food for
able to,
sure.
you know...
Like in Poland, we at least we definitely used to have like very high quality food. I don't want to offend anybody right now, but in England, I found that it was. I'm not sure how to say it. It was the food was just a little different. It was it wasn't. I don't think it's as good quality as we had it here. I hope I don't get cancelled for this. But to be fair, after some time, I really miss the British food. Like I'll be like sitting at home thinking, I want the British crisps, you know, or I want like a fish and chips, and you know, like the typical fish and chips from London. And there is So the food was a bit of a shock, especially here we have like very sweet biscuits, and in England you get them with salt. Yeah. So that was a bit weird at the beginning. Like, we used to hate it because it was like, why is there like salt in biscuits? Like, I don't understand. So there was that thing. And then before you mentioned the road thing. So obviously in England, like you drive and you walk on the other side of the road. So it was so strange for me to kind of like look the other way. So I would always look the wrong way. So then in the end, I ended up always looking every single way just in case, you know.
Oh, that's cool. Well, how long have you been here now in Poland? Like since you moved back?
Yeah, since I moved back, so I was 15. So it's 11 years now. That's
cool.
quite some time.
Did you like did you change anything though? Would you like want to move back if you had a chance?
If I had the chance, maybe. You know, like I love Gdańsk, but I think London has a very, very big place in my heart. So
how about your friends there? How like leaving them and then moving down here? They must really like, you know, hate you like right now, like for leaving them and everything.
Well, I was young, so I only have a few friends left from that stage. But I actually do have a best friend who's living. I think she's living maybe in Liverpool right now. I'm not sure. But yeah, we are. She's from Iran, and we met when we were 8 years old. We went to the first primary school together, and we keep in touch to this day. So
that's cool. That's cool. And when I'm living in Nigeria, then I was like leaving everything, my parents, and then this almost 3 years now, like outside, I haven't seen any of them. And
you must miss them.
I mean, it's really, really hard. At first, it was really hard. Then I started getting used to it. I started getting used to that. I would call sometimes and then we reach out. But then when my sister came, that was like it for me. And although I still, I would want to definitely go back to Nigeria probably next year. Next year I should visit. Well, a lot of things were actually quite off for me when I moved down here, but I'm really happy, like really, really happy. And Poland has actually been a great place, yeah. So, like transitioning into the marketing and the copywriting, what I want to really know about it because I really like that aspect. Copywriting definitely is something that I was looking to move into at the time, but then I shifted my focus. And so, how did it start for you?
It was. Hang on, let me think about it. Well, I guess it kind of started when I was teaching English. So I thought I would like to change my career into something where I could like develop my skills. And that's when I thought about sales, marketing, etc.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to write. When I was younger, I would write stories for my blog and my diary and like little fantasy stories because I wanted to write a book. And I started a blog, but that never went well. And I actually got my first job at a company which rents out restaurants. And I would write text for them, and they were for the US market. And I worked there for about a year. And I had the opportunity to do so many things there. And I'm really, really grateful for it because I would not only be a writer, I would also do graphics. I would also be like a project designer, a team leader. So it was like a really, really great experience. And I got really a lot out of that job. And then I applied online for like a remote company. And I got the job in Sweden. And right now I work at a very, very good company with a really great team. And I haven't looked back since.
I mean, that's a really good. My own path for marketing. I think I actually transitioned from being a data analyst. Like, I'm actually a data analyst in the background. Like, the skills I said, I was like, okay, I want to do something because I was usually more inquisitive. Like when I get to meet someone, for some reason, I just start analyzing things and start putting one word together to understand where this person is coming from. And then I understood that, okay, let me just try and see, let me give this certification a shot. And I gave it a shot, and it helped me in securing some jobs here in Poland. And there's some jobs because I usually match, like sometimes I do a freelance gig for like some company, and then they pay me and all that. And then I started understanding the marketing aspect as well. I was like, okay, let me just now see how I can transition into marketing as well, offer the service. And since I'm good in, because most of the marketing stuff has to do with data, interpreting how they buy, how customers buying, and the choices they make. And then I actually decided to get a certification for that as well. And then like that, I merged the both of them together, the analysis background, Google Analytics, and then I started, offering services out there for businesses, especially e-commerce businesses. I would help them.
That's what we do.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a really large market. It's a really large market, and there's always space for everyone to come in. So that's the aspect. That's how I actually got into it. But talking about copywriting, email is one thing that I know it's never going away.
Yeah, definitely.
It's never going away. I sometimes I advise some friends that I tell them that they should try as much as possible to build an email list. Like, tomorrow the social media could change their algorithm, they could change whatever they're doing that's making you sell online, but your list is always your list. You can always send email out to your list, and then you can actually convert if you actually have a good copywriting person, of course, like
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's actually what I do. So what do you do in particular, like your present role now? Like what do you do now?
Well, I mainly write articles
Yeah.
for our blog and like news digests. And obviously we focus very much on SEO so that Google
cool.
picks up on the site. And quite a lot of my articles were actually on Google's first site, which I feel like it's quite an accomplishment, you know. Yeah, but I feel like it's really important and people kind of underestimate it because obviously like when people search for something online,
Yeah.
what are they going to search for? The first like 4 links or 5
Definitely.
links,
Yeah.
which are on Google's first page. So obviously what you want to do is rank as one of these pages.
Yeah.
And if you're even on the second page, it doesn't really matter because
Come on, I don't want to.
You have to be like
second page.
Yeah, you have to be desperate to go to the second page.
Yeah. True. You know, I tell people like to put content out there because, like I was telling you in the car, like especially for me, starting a business in Poland, most times when you're trying to get customers, and then let's say for instance, like I told you, sending out cold emails, and most of them they just go since they don't know you, and your name is actually quite different. It's not something ski. If I was answering like Samuel Ski now or Ikemanski, they would feel like maybe I'm Polish.
You should change it.
But yeah, when they see your name and they just go and pick out your name, they put it on Google. And the first thing Google put out there is your LinkedIn. And now someone just go. That's why sometimes you just see someone viewed your profile. And if you're not using a premium account, you will not be able to see the person in particular. But if you're using a premium account, you see the person that viewed it. And maybe it may be one of the clients that you sent out a cold email, you know. And most of the time, they will just go through your page and see what you're putting out there. Maybe they may even go to your Instagram, watch whatever you're putting out there. And then that's the only way that's what they're going to be able to hold. Because definitely, of course, we're a registered company, but you need to also put something out there that will be able to convince them. That way they'll be able to like, okay, I want to hear what he has to say. Let me hear what he has to say. Even though they may be quite like, you know, not fully convinced, but because of what you're putting out there, they may be able to like, okay, let's do business with him and see what he can actually provide. Yeah. But that's actually that's a good one for me. But in terms of like how are you able to like, you know, of course you said you're working from home.
Yeah. I work.
Are they asking you guys to move back? Oh,
sorry,
it's Sweden, so you don't have
well, actually, like we have an office in Sweden, so in theory I could go there. But from what I know, even people in Sweden don't go to the office; they work from home.
They're not asking you guys to come back?
No, because come on, we know that it's like it makes more sense to work from home. What is the
name of your company? No, I mean you don't need to. But I mean, quite
Should
a lot
I
of
tell my
people
boss something?
Recommendation. A lot of people are actually, a lot of people are actually saying that, a lot of offices are asking, especially in Poland, asking people to return to the office, and I'm like, if the same productivity, it's the same thing. I don't actually feel like coming to the office is going to make any difference, to be honest, because it's going to spend a lot, like your time, 3 hours commuting from your office to your home, a lot of things, food. You go to the office and they give you one banana and they're like, welcome to
what was it? Fruit Thursdays.
And you're going to consider food. And I mean, I just think they should actually leave it that way. Social media, I mean, of course, the COVID changed a lot of things. I want to even ask, how was COVID for you?
Oh, it was terrible. But actually, I'll just touch upon what you said. The one bad thing about remote working is that you're literally just sitting at home alone all the time. And I guess, because I've been working remotely for like 5 years.
Yeah.
So
5 years?
Yeah, I think it's
even
almost
before COVID?
Yeah, like I started, I think about like 1 year before COVID. I mean, I would go to the office like once a week for like one English lesson, but that was about it. Yeah, the rest was online. Okay, so 4 years. But yeah, like it gets lonely,
Do you know any of your colleagues?
Sorry?
Do you know any of your colleagues personally?
Well, we meet once like every half a year. So that's nice. Yeah. In my previous job, we would meet once every quarter. So we would have like a Christmas party or something like that. Yeah, so that was nice. But yeah, like, you sit at home, you kind of, I don't know, if you don't have friends, you can get depressed. I mean, I have friends, so that's good. But if somebody wasn't as, I don't know, extroverted maybe, then yeah, that might not be a good option for them. So I think to have like better mental health, it could actually be good to go back to the office,
Yeah.
especially for people our age. Because I guess maybe for somebody that's older who has kids, etc., then maybe like that's okay for them.
Yeah.
But when I don't have kids and yeah, I just sit at home by myself and I'm young, then maybe it's a bit sadder.
Would you say you're an introvert or an extrovert?
Extrovert.
Extrovert?
I hope you can tell.
I see. I mean, it's not everybody that can do that. I mean, no offense to the introverts, but I'm really extroverted in every fucking way. Like to my head, to my everywhere. I know I'm actually extroverted, so that actually works out for me fine. But now that I think that's a valid point because I sometimes actually, I feel, when you're so used to a particular place and you're walking from just one place, and I know sometimes I may just walk out to the balcony and but I think that's also one good part. But I don't think moving fully like 3 days a week. I don't fancy it. I don't fancy it. But how was COVID for you? How was COVID in Poland? I just don't like. How was it?
I was actually quite lucky because back then I was teaching and also I was studying.
Yeah.
So I was studying from the morning until let's say like 3 to 4 p.m. And then from 4 p.m. I was teaching, and then I was teaching until let's say 9 p.m. So my days were filled. I had money, I had my studies. Things were quite fine. So I wasn't feeling that bad. I have a dog, so he kept me company.
What's the name of your dog?
Oh, his name's Gandhi.
Oh, Gandhi. Did you?
No, not after that. It was actually Gandalf, but then it was really hard to shout Gandalf across.
Yeah. Is that what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
Oh
Lord
my
of the
God,
Rings.
you were moving. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, it was hard to shout Gandalf across the park, so it just came to Gandhi, and now it's Gandhi.
Well, was Poland was it like really restricted during the COVID period?
It was ridiculous. They would like close the forest. Like that,
they
would
close the forest.
Yeah, they told us that we can't go to the forest, and it was like for like 1 week or two, and they said later they opened it up again, and we were like, "Oh, is COVID not there anymore?"
No, I'm really surprised. Like they closed the forest.
Yeah, because they closed everything, and they said like, "Yeah, you can't even go to the forest."
Oh, wow!
You could only go with the dog or like an animal. So people were doing like I literally saw somebody walk a turtle in my street.
What?
It happened, okay? It happened.
I mean, these days, like, I've made peace. Today I saw something. My friend Michael sent me a picture of someone getting married to a crocodile. I was like, crocodile? These days I see a lot of things. I'm like, I even saw one the other day, a pig, and I was like, oh, I mean, I don't have any problem with it. I don't have any problem with it. Perspective matters a lot for me. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But COVID in Nigeria was actually quite the total opposite. Like, it was I would say in Nigeria, we actually thought it was a joke, first of all.
Are you serious?
Like, we thought it was a joke. And then all of a sudden, the army and then, the first people, they were like, everybody should stay inside and stuff like that. There were riots some places, people were rioting. And then the food, because there was, like, the palliatives. Did they share anything like palliatives in Poland?
No, I don't think so.
Really? But your government gave you guys money, yeah?
I'm not sure. No.
You guys never received anything?
I don't know. I don't think so. I never received anything.
No, I mean, I'm trying to understand because, I'm trying to understand how people were just indoors and if you were not working or let's say no salary, how are you going to cope?
I don't know. I think it was kind of like, well, we were trying to help each other, I guess. Like, for example, my landlord wrote to me and he was like, oh, if you can't pay, then it's okay. But I could, so I paid him. But
you're a really nice person though. Like, a lot. I'm not gonna say I would do the same thing, but if I had such situation, I mean, I would exploit it. I'm just saying. But yeah, that's really cool. That's cool. But is it like a general thing? But is this choice? Like, it's not like it's mandatory for everyone.
Oh no, it's not mandatory. I think there was some help. I'm just not sure exactly what it was. Like, I didn't qualify for it. I think it was like for particular people. Also, I think there was maybe some like tax reduction for a while. But
tax.
Something like that, but I'm not sure exactly what it was. There was like a little bit of help, but it wasn't anything crazy.
But then when they were like when it was called off, like
Oh, it was only for like 3 months, something like that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And then obviously we had summer, so it got better. And then back again from autumn to
Would you say it
summer again.
changed you in any way, like staying home for that long?
Not really. Honestly, sorry. I know you expected a different answer. No, for me it was fine, but that's because, I just like did other things, and even if we couldn't go out as much, I went out as much as I could, basically. So
Yeah.
if we could still go to the gym or we could go someplace, I would still go there. Obviously we couldn't go to concerts or festivals,
Yeah.
so that we couldn't do, but other things, we would meet with friends in our houses and stuff like that.
Oh,
So,
like house party kind of thing.
yeah, something like that.
Oh.
So it was actually quite okay. It wasn't that bad. I guess just the beginning, like the first month,
Yeah.
especially since, nobody knew what was going on. So people were like buying out the toilet paper. I mean, that was a huge thing everywhere. But I remember like all my friends were saying like, oh my God, we're going to like close ourselves in the cellar and stay there for like a month, buy out the toilet paper, buy out the rice. And I don't know, it was such a strange time.
It's quite funny you're mentioning something. Like you guys were not rushing something. Vodka. How did you guys cope that period? Like no rushing for vodka and alcohol and the rest of it? Sorry, I mean, I'm beginning to wonder, like, how was the alcohol stage back then? Like, because the drinking in Poland is, oh Lord.
Well, we do drink a lot, but come on, don't make us alcoholics.
No, I'm not.
No, I can't go a day without my without my vodka. I have to drink even right now. I mean, this is not water.
No, I think that part of like drinking in Poland, I've come to respect the Polish culture for that. That's like, I give you guys thumbs up. Like, I
thank you in the name of Polish people.
Yeah, in the name of like, thank you so much. Like, you guys are. Oh my God, I tried it once, and I think I'm gonna have that day in my head till the day I die, because oh God.
We don't do it every day,
No, I'm not saying it's every day, but like in my country, it's like people see it like a. I will not say.
Is it like a celebration?
No, not like a celebration. They kind of see it like a like, I won't say it's a taboo in general, but drinking, they keep this kind of, there's this feeling that you feel like you're feeling bad that you're drinking.
You feel bad that you're drinking. Well, that's called a hangover.
Yeah, I know, but that's the hangover. Yeah, after. But ours is actually pre hangover. So you're already feeling bad that you're drinking. So like they make it feel like drinking is like a thing. I mean, culture. I respect culture a lot, but they make it feel like it's a bad thing to like drink and get you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm really open right now to a lot of things. Like Poland actually opened my eyes. Quite funny enough, like a lot of things. Living in Wrocław, I started from there. I saw a lot of things, and beautiful city and all that, but I would still prefer Tri-City any day, So
yeah, and how would you say, like, what's the cultural difference between Nigeria and Poland? Like, what was your culture shock? We talked about mine, but I'm wondering what's yours.
I would say PDA, a lot of PDA, yeah.
So you have it in Nigeria, or you don't?
It's like kind of like people actually hide to do things. I would say that is the problem Nigerians have a lot. We like hide. I'm trying as much as possible to unlearn most of those things. I need to start seeing things the way they are. But to even kiss, let's say you want to hold your girlfriend in public, or maybe you want to do things in the public, it kind of feels somehow. They will look at it like you hear things like get a room, and
oh dear.
Sorry, my Nigerian people, sorry, but yeah, you hear things like get a room, and I'm like, okay. But then I came here and I started seeing, people.
Nah, in Poland, people don't care. It's
people don't care and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, it also was a problem for me because then being with someone and the person was trying to do it, and I was having that shock, and I'm like, okay, I will do it. I kept postponing, I will do it, and yeah, it's a cultural thing. So I'm trying to also get that side out. But I would say the food was actually, I'm a food person. I get emotional when I talk about food. Sorry.
So which food is better, Nigerian or Polish?
Okay. I don't want my people to attack me. I want to be able to go back to Nigeria and visit my parents. So I would say our food is actually in a way kind of cool for me. But Polish food is really wonderful. Especially the meat aspect. Oh my God, Polish food is good. The meats, let's say back home, growing up in Lagos, meat was actually like a thing.
Uh-huh.
Like an African man, meat is like their highest somehow. We actually would eat the rice
Mm-hmm.
and wait till you're done eating the rice before you eat the meat. The meat is like the ceremonial position whenever you're getting. So if you give me a plate of food and I don't see meat in most cases, I was like, what is this? What are you giving me? So it's like, it kind of feels that way. I'll say the food was a cultural shock. Like I say again, the relationship part, was a cultural shock for me. But now I would say now I'm actually more open. Yeah, shout out to you guys. But yeah, I would say right now, like really open to the PDA aspect. I would say I'm kind of different. A bit, yeah. Yeah, like I said, also the crossing the road aspect is actually different for me as well. So yeah, that's it. That's it. But transitioning like after the COVID period and then your friends and everything, like what would you say? Did it affect your friends? Like, do you think? I mean, you're different, but did you think it affected Polish people?
I think, yeah, in Poland, definitely a lot of depression, definitely. I had a couple of talks with therapists and my friends, obviously, as well. And yeah, the depressive state went up really high.
Wow.
And that went on for a while. But I think there was also a lot of help from like outside sources, which was nice. There were therapists which were giving out the services for free,
Wow.
and yeah, so that was a really great thing to have from other people. And I don't know, I feel like even like influencers in general, they were trying to help a lot and doing
Yeah.
like challenges at home and doing like live streams and things like that. And I think that really helped a lot of people as well to kind of feel normal. So yeah.
I would say therapy. Now that you spoke about therapy,
Mm.
there's this. I don't know if maybe it's just the African thing or the Nigerian thing. Like the therapy can they may make you feel like the word therapy. If you're going to therapy, you may start feeling like
That you're crazy.
you're crazy, something like that. I had to like really unlearn that part. For me to start seeing that you can be okay and go to meet the therapist to talk about things. Of course, you need to have the money because but yeah, that's something that I won't say I never really had, but I would say I was not really exposed to it because, of course, the money aspect and everything. You need to eat first
Yeah,
before you
that's
can.
true. I mean, in Poland, it's quite expensive. I'm not sure how it is in other countries. I'm guessing it's similar. And of course, you get the one, you get therapists through like the Polish healthcare system.
Yeah.
I can't really say anything about that because I've never tried it.
Yeah.
But I guess, you just kind of, if you do want to go, you have to find somebody that's really reliable and who will speak to you in a way that speaks to you, if that makes sense. Because
Like a person, yeah.
yeah, like a person. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I went to see a couple of people just to chat, because I thought, maybe this is the time to go and speak to someone.
Yeah.
And a couple of them were definitely not my people. And then I found my therapy group, and I actually started to take a course as a therapist there, which I'm
Yeah.
actually in right now.
Oh.
So I'm training to be a therapist, and it's like massage therapy. So that's also another part which you didn't know about me.
Okay, I just, I'm just gonna like, can you just tell us all these things you do? Because I think you're a superhuman, right? Did you tell us that, like?
No, right now I'm doing TikTok copywriting, and
I like that part, TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok as well. Yeah, and then the reflexology course, which is therapy. Yeah,
Oh.
so we like massage feet or your hands, the head, and that kind of gets rid not only of the pain, but
Yeah.
we also speak about your troubles, and we kind of see how the points on your body, which are on your hands or on your feet.
Yeah.
Jesus, this is really hard to explain. You're gonna have to cut some of this.
Okay.
Okay, so reflexology works in a way that when you massage a certain point on the foot, it can actually transfer into a certain organ in your body. So
Really?
basically, if I massage like the sole of your foot, it could be like your abdomen or something like that.
Oh.
So if there's like a painful point there, that could mean that there's something wrong with you internally, and it would be like good to check.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never really tried it. So you said this is
Reflexology.
reflexology.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think yeah. I would just check. I'll read up on that. But moving to the other side of TikTok, like yeah.
TikTok.
How is TikTok actually impacting Poland right now? How would you say like people are actually getting on there? Is it like a young thing, young people's thing?
Yeah, of course. I mean, when you check the analytics, it's 18-24. I think older generations, not so much. Maybe like 24-35, but then there's like 20% of TikTok,
Yeah.
at least from my views. That's my perspective. It's mostly younger people. It's mostly women. So
Yeah.
you kind of have to, make content for that type of audience. And it can be difficult, I have to say. Right now, I'm doing TikTok for business, and it hasn't been easy.
No, don't. No. I'm not gonna say don't, but
You can't say
TikTok for
don't.
business a lot. Like it has a lot of how will I put it? Like you can't use sounds. Like the sounds needs to be like you shouldn't have any copyright and stuff like that. I don't know if it's the same thing, but
I mean,
some
you can
sounds-
use the sounds in TikTok, I guess.
That's TikTok sounds.
Yeah.
Like you can't use like let's say you want to use hairstyle music now, you can't.
I guess it depends, because it depends what type of sounds are inside there, because you still have the songs. So I'm not sure if there's probably some Harry Styles songs which are in TikTok. I don't know. I haven't.
For TikTok business? Nah.
No?
All the musics that actually when it comes to TikTok business, I actually had to I had to switch my account back.
Okay, because I'm not using TikTok business account. I'm just using my TikTok for our company.
Yeah. Okay, I understand now. Okay. Because that TikTok business is really a great feature to have. They like verify your business, everything in Poland, they check you and all that. But I just think it's kind of limited a bit because sound is actually one thing a lot of people actually resonate with, and you can't use some like if you have a sound in your video. Let's say you edited your your video on another platform, and then you import it to TikTok, and you use that same sound. TikTok would actually detect that, and they'll like use it. It's actually a violation.
Oh.
It's like you have to use the TikTok business music, which is actually boring to promote the song. But would you say it's like a marketing front, like for businesses?
I think it's great, but I feel like it's easier for small businesses. So for larger companies, I feel like it's a bit harder. But obviously, Ryanair and like Duolingo, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but
Ryanair is like giving me
they're doing an amazing job, and I absolutely love their TikToks. They're fantastic.
I saw one that in our Ryanair they said Ryanair is the number one aviation that's keeping long distance relationship together. Yeah, I think that the friendly prices are actually, it's really commendable. But I for one, when I was like, building my business, I'm thinking like, should I attack like, focus on TikTok? But I'm beginning to see that, I was seeing that the younger ones are actually going to get older, So, I took it like a 5 to 10 years plan. It's not like something I want to cash out immediately or want to start saving. I'm looking at it like a 5 to 10 years plan where the younger ones, by then they would have, you'd have built it like a brand, a strong brand with them, and they'll be able to resonate with what you're doing. But another thing, for my own case, the challenges I'm facing for my business right now, it's let's say the language aspect, because trying to like speak and relay out your information to the Polish market, you need to really have the Polish to really know what they actually want and how you can help their businesses. But yeah, but tell us, I'm talking about you said you've been able to like you have an opportunity to have your content on the first page of SAPs like Google. What kind of like how are you doing it? How have you been able to do it? I mean, I know you have your secrets, I know, but
I have my secrets, yeah. Well, there's a lot to do with like the back end, I would say. So there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, which I have no idea like what's going on there. But the stuff that I do is like definitely keyword research, and that's in like platform on the platform like Ahrefs. And then, for example, there's Surfer SEO, which we also use, and that's really good for detecting other keywords, and that also shows you like how your page will be ranking. And of course, you have to write a lot of content. Sure. So that's why, only having one writer, it's like not enough. You have to, I would say like having at least 4 or 5 writers, that's like a good amount. Because then you can really push out lots and lots of content. And I feel like, for example, what Gary Vee says in his podcast, he says like you should do 35 pieces of content for your platform every single day.
That guy is crazy. I don't know how he wants. Sometimes when I hear
but
him,
he's right.
No, I mean that's why I'm trying as much as possible to put up much like content every day, but it's not. I mean, oh my god,
it's hard.
It's hard as fuck. Like you need to think, but I think his own case is that what he did is now he's going around with like a good camera guy, and whatever he's just saying to people, they're just recording it and just cutting it out and just putting it out.
Yeah, well, he's not editing for sure.
I mean, he doesn't. I think someone was also saying something about polished videos actually these days actually not doing more than are doing less than unpolished videos, like no editing and stuff like that. They just cut it out and put it out there and stuff like that. Even for marketing, let's say people that are talking about Google Analytics and talking about website optimization, they just camera show you, use their phone to take a picture, make a video of what they are seeing on their screen, tell your optimization score on Google Analytics, just tell you, okay, this is what you're supposed to do or stuff like that. They're not polishing the video, just take it like that and put it on TikTok and it actually do well. So
oh, crazy. I haven't heard about that actually.
yeah, that's one part I'm actually trying to roll in. Like I told you, like something I'm trying to see how I can roll in, because I'm trying to see how I can do less so I can focus more on what I'm supposed to do. I'm moving to, of course, AI is actually changing.
Yeah, like AI is changing the landscape.
Oh.
Wow, it's crazy. And honestly, I've had like so many programs which I've been testing out, and they've been like ever so helpful. Obviously, Chat GPT is doing a lot of the work, but that's like enhancing writing skills, and that's fantastic because obviously it's not going to write the whole article by itself.
For some reason, I think it's actually a lot of marketers and a lot of people are scared that AI is going to take their jobs. But I don't think it's true. I just think it's people that don't want to actually do more. Because what AI does is that it just goes and simplify or maybe make those tedious tasks or maybe manual repetitive tasks. It takes that part, help you arrange that part, and then you're now creative. You have more time to do what you're supposed to do. But a lot of people are just, they just AI is going to take the job. They don't really want to like sit down and say, okay, what is AI going to do? What is AI doing? And how can I leverage the user? Because it has come to stay one way or the other. No matter how you want to no matter how you want to do it, AI has come to stay. So I'll just, beckon on them to get on with it, see how you can actually offer AI or, teach people how to use AI or maybe, learn AI yourself, because yeah, it has come to stay. That's how people were talking. TikTok, that was 2020 TikTok. That's when
something
during
like
the COVID
that.
period, during the COVID period, that's when I think the TikTok thing, blew up.
Yeah, but I think most of all it's like technological advancements. They are always gonna be here and are always gonna like move humanity forward. It's never like once we get something, it's not coming back. I'm not sure if you heard, but apparently we have the first flying car which has been approved. Yeah. So it's like gonna drive normally on the road, and then it's if it has traffic, it can just like go up and like fly. Yeah, and it's
cool.
like for real this time. So hopefully we'll see that one soon. But then as soon as the flying cars start, then it's not gonna like go back. People are not gonna like stop flying suddenly. And it's the same with AI. Like now that it's started, we are going to use it, and it's not like, I don't know, somebody will say, okay, let's stop now. Like, no, it's like helping us, so we're gonna do it. It's like been like this, like every time something like this has happened, it was here to stay. So right now with Chat GPT and other type of AI, it's definitely going to help us with our work. And the most important thing for us to do right now is to kind of get used to it, learn it, and make the most out of it. I mean, right now I'm doing the same amount of writing, but I have more time to have the company TikTok, which is really nice. So I'm doing the creative work, and I'm doing the work which I have been up until this point.
Well, that's cool.
It's a win-win.
Cool. So how have you been able to balance the both of them?
Sorry?
How do you balance it? Because a lot of people are just like, work-life balance, I get this a lot. Like work-life balance. How have you been able to do it?
It's hard because, I can work at any time. I can wake up at 7, do 4 hours of work, take a break, and then work a few more hours in the afternoon, which is really good. I love it because I wouldn't be able to concentrate for 8 full hours. That would be crazy. But yeah, I try to kind of split up my routine and have, for example, 4 hours in the morning for writing. And then as soon as I'm done with that, I would film in the afternoon. and then perhaps, I don't know, edit the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously I try not to waste my time on social media and things like that, because once I started doing the TikToks, it's hard to kind of get sucked into this into this spiral of just like watching TikToks, and I'm saying, oh, it's for my job, and it's like, but is it though?
I get it. I mean, it's actually quite alarming. The other day there was a stat released that TikTok is the highest engagement platform right now. The average person stays 60 minutes a day. Do you know, like that's like 1 hour. The average. That's TikTok. It has not been done in anywhere before. So the moment you go into that TikTok thing, you basically, you may just find yourself coming out and you're dusting yourself like 4 hours later, and you're like, how the day gone and everything. So that's how TikTok. But for my own aspect, like I want to know, how have you been able to focus on just it and just avoid TikTok, because I'm talking about the concentration aspect now. Have you been able to? Do you have like apps that stop you from using your phone during working hours? Or
Yeah, actually on the iPhone you have the option to focus time, or personal time. So I definitely use that because that really helps. Not to have the notifications pop up. I don't actually have TikTok notifications on my phone, so that helps a lot, because otherwise it would be like every 2 minutes, hey, would you like to watch this video? So I don't have that. And as soon as I'm done filming my video, I upload it, probably put it in drafts, and just exit the app. So I leave it alone. I'm trying to, not get too sucked into TikTok. Otherwise, it would be just hours and hours on end watching videos, which don't help at all.
Yeah, I mean, to just wrap it up, I just want to know, I know you have this part. You said something about you love reading and you like collecting books. Tell us about that aspect of you. Like I said, you have a lot of places I want to explore, but for the video sake.
I actually, I'm a huge fan of personal development books and marketing books as well. My favorite book when it comes to writing, since we're still on the subject of writing, would be A Hypnotic Writing by Joe Vitale. Okay. And I feel like writing, it has this way that it can really hypnotize the reader. And I think that's what makes a great copywriter, when you can make somebody just read your text from the beginning to the end and want to keep going. And his book is so great. It's like the whole book is written in a way that it hypnotizes you to read it, which is really awesome, because you can kind of see how it's explaining everything, how it works, but then it's also doing it at the same time. So you're starting to be aware that, hey, this guy is making me read this book. So it's really great. Yeah, and I've been collecting books for a very long time. It all started when I was very young and I was reading fantasy books. So back in my hometown, I have 2 huge bookshelves filled with books for kids. Whoa. But I can't let them go. It's I don't have the heart to just sell them. So I'm hoping that one day when I have my own house, I can just have all these bookshelves with the books for kids and then the self-development books and things like that.
That's cool. I would say my hobby is actually I kind of like dancing. I know I don't dance. A lot of people may not actually get that part, but I just like to dance and do crazy. I don't know how to give the right steps, but I just feel anytime I listen to a piece of good music, I just feel it, and I'm just going, and most times I just get lost in it, and I really like it, and that is good. I think that's a way I actually used to cool off, because I won't say I'm an overworker. I think maybe a bit, but but I tend to cool off with most times when it comes to dancing, and that's why I go to most of the shows that I don't know if the first person I interviewed on the show, DJ Julian Black. He's a really a great DJ, and most of the time when they host events, especially for Africans, I usually always want to pop in there and dance and flow and see how it goes. But we have a tradition here that we always want to know, if you were to say the advice you're going to give to people out there to to keep pushing, because I know you said you love the more, the help books and the rest of it. What would you say have been able to get you to this stage? What would be your advice to people out there?
Never give up. I know, cliche, but seriously, it's once you as long as you have many interests and that you hold them dear to your heart, you're never going to stop, because this need of wanting to do things, it's going to eat you up inside.
Yeah.
So I don't know, for me it was impossible to stop. Like whenever I felt like, okay, like I'm fed up because I don't know, taxes or something, you know, it was like, no, like you have to keep doing things because otherwise you're just gonna kind of like die inside. And that's exactly why, you know, it was teaching, it's copywriting, it's TikTok, it's other stuff. And these days I just kind of try to do a little bit of everything, but in a productive way. So it's not just like ideas thrown around, but kind of leveraging all the skills and hopefully turning them into something bigger in the end.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I mean, I must say, I'm really grateful having you on the show. It's really been a really nice conversation with you. I think if I continue, we're going to talk to the end of the day. So I must really commend you. Thank you for the efforts you're putting in yourself as well. You know, working on yourself, being the best version of yourself. It takes a lot, and we see it, and we're really really happy for you. And I wouldn't say I'm really like, start saying I'm proud like your dad. I'm proud of you, but I'll just say whatever you're putting in that's actually been helping you, just keep doing it. It's gonna pay off, and just keep being you.
Oh, thank you so much for that, and thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Nah. I would say it's I want to be able to, like, yes, thank you too. I want to be able to, like, have that conversation with peers like myself that, that puts in one foot ahead of the other to be the best version of themselves. And it's really been a great one. Thank you so much. I hope we have this, conversation again later in the future. But for now, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks very much.
Thank you guys so much for, sticking to the end of this video. I know you enjoyed the video. I'll just, urge you guys to just subscribe, like, follow. I'll be giving more of this content out there. It makes, it gives me that encouragement to keep putting out the content. And for you out there as well listening to this, that, we've heard from her, from myself, I'll just say, just keep putting one foot ahead of the other, keep grinding.